in the first verse, verses 26 and 27. If the tradition is to stand, I ask that you do so if you're able to. And I'm reading from the New American Standard Bible, and it reads, "Then God said, let us make man in our image according to our likeness. Let them rule over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." God created man in his own image and likeness. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. I read to you verses 26 and 27, a very familiar text. We all have heard before in Genesis, and if I can tag it, I just want to say, in the spirit of Big Sean, one of my favorite rappers, is bigger than me. If you can't get with that, let's just say, God, deliver me from Adam.
Amen. Amen.
You may be seated. David Allen Cole said, "It's not the beauty of a building that you should look at. It's the construction of the foundation that will stand the test of time." David Franklin, the great thinker of the 70s and 80s, said, "A successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation with the very bricks others have thrown at him."
Come on, right.
Or her. I just want to say today, everything we know has a foundation. We sit in a building that was founded in 1888. A church that was founded so long ago that withstood Reconstruction, Jim Crow, the 60s, the Civil Rights Movement, Reaganomics, and now Trumpism.
Okay.
The building is still standing. I remember growing up in Elim. Elim didn't quite look like this. No padded pews, no carpet on the floors. The annex was separate from the church, but the foundation still stood. The foundation stood the test of time through many that we've seen to come and go, and some that God has called home, but yet the foundation still stands.
Yes.
Everything has a foundation. If a house burns down and the foundation is right, the wood and the side, the structure will be destroyed, but the foundation remains. Even after the worst storms that we will see in life, that we've seen multiple tornadoes tear through Oklahoma and Alabama over the last several years. The walls were destroyed, neighborhoods demolished, but yet, if the foundation was good, it would still stand. For our government, even though its founding was questionable, even though there's some weird characters that are trying to lead us, even though we may question our validity in the Constitution, the foundation of our government is yet solid, and through it all, it still stands. And if I can tell you and just put something there just to let us get something about foundation, if our foundation is tight, we're going to be all right. But if the foundation is flawed, it will rip at the core. Ironically, I stand before you today on my very foundation, the very thing that created me. It was in Genesis 1 this picture was painted. As a born-again believer, we can't go anywhere without the foundation. We can't get the Leviticus or Exodus. We can't deal with Nehemiah or Numbers. We can't go anywhere in the Bible unless we go back to the foundation, which says that God created man and woman in his image and likeness. God created them. That very foundation still stands because that was the foundation for which we are created. That's the foundation in which we believe. That's the foundation that says, Reverend Pastor, that we are created in God's image. That is the very foundation. If we can't get anything else right, we can't move ahead unless we know that is our foundation. Right. We were created in the image of God. In the image of God, we were created. And the one thing about the creation, God did not create us and left us to find our way. God created us before he even got to dealing with humankind. God actually put everything in place for man to do. God created the birds, the air, the sun, day and night. God put everything out in front. God had the work set up for him, already had a job for Adam and Eve when he created them. Everything was already laid out. The foundation was there. All they had to do was manage, run, subdue, conquer, and have dominion of what God had already created. The foundation was laid. Am I talking to someone today that can understand this whole thing about Genesis? It says that in the beginning, the earth was void and without form. Let me go ahead and give it to you in Hebrew. In beginnings, the earth was full of chaos. And God pulled darkness and light out of chaos and created everything. So it was at that point what God created, God put us here for. God created the Adam and the Eve, the humankind, to rule and reign over the earth. Right. That was the foundation. God did not create anyone in here without giving them a foundation. The very foundation of why you are here. There are people in here today in churches throughout this country still trying to figure out why I am here. You are here because you are part of the foundation. Understand that God created you from the very beginning. God created you for purpose. God created you to have reign and rule over something. God gave you dominion to conquer, lands to reach, people to help. God gave you a dominion to reach. So that's what you're here for. If you want to know the truth, there's nothing mystical about it. You are here for a reason because you're part of the foundation. The very foundation I want you to grab in your soul and get in your spirit is that God created you in the image of himself, or God's self. God created everything about you in God's self. And therefore, if you're created in the image of God, you have the very foundation that you need to do everything in life. The foundation. Many times we admire the beautiness of a building. In New Generation, when we leave out of here, I got to show you First Baptist Church, the campus. It is a beautiful foundation. Founded in 1845 was the Southern Baptist Convention at First Baptist Church here in Augusta, Georgia. It is a beautiful edifice. But you look at the building, the key to it is we admire the beauty of what stands, but the foundation is what it stands on. If we want to appreciate something, appreciate the foundation. Because the foundation holds up that beautiful edifice. It is that foundation that is within each and every one of us that will hold us upright before Christ, before God's throne. It is that very foundation. But if I can tell you in just a few moments as we're giving it, somewhere along the line, Adam and Eve got distracted. They forgot what they were there for. In other words, God gave them a mission. God said, have dominion over the earth. That meant to rule and manage everything in the earth. I provision you with everything. Not only do you have command of the birds in the air and the fish in the sea or the cows on the land, you have access to all the riches that are part of the earth, the gold, the diamonds, and everything else. I've given it to you, but yet you got distracted. Church, Elim, New Generation, let me tell you, God has given us so much, given us a foundation, but the problem why we don't have dominion over what God gave us is somewhere along the line we got distracted. Come on. Am I talking to someone? You know what it's like to get distracted? Each and every one of us somewhere along the line has gotten distracted. Am I talking to somebody? Somewhere along the line, Adam and Eve messed up. Am I talking to somewhere along the line, they got distracted. They got off course. We don't have to walk through the whole story. We just need to know that they got distracted from the mission and vision that God had created for them. Yes, sir. God put everything out in front of them, and then they still got distracted. Has anyone in here know what I'm talking about? Has anyone in here ever messed up? Has anyone in here ever just know that what you did was jacked up? Yes. You messed up? There was an opportunity in front of you. We all have messed up. Yes. It was jacked up. Somewhere we get caught between our shame and our arrogance. Our shame and our arrogance. Shame that we did it, but too arrogant to say I was wrong. Too arrogant to say that, I need to go and repent. I need to go make this right. We're caught somewhere between shame and arrogance. That's what happened with Adam. He got caught somewhere between shame and arrogance. The shame was he ran and hid because he had broke the rule. The arrogance of it was, instead of saying, yeah, God, I did wrong. I know what you said. No, but it was this woman here you gave me. Shame and arrogance. Somewhere between guilt and attitude. The guilt said, go run and hide and try to cover yourself. And the attitude was, I'm hiding instead of walking and facing what I've done. Adam had a job that was directly linked to his purpose, but he messed up. And his response was jacked up. Adam should have been the seed for humanity. Creation of all things, but somewhere along the line, he got distracted. Has anyone in here ever gotten distracted before in life? Am I the only one up here that can testify that I've gotten distracted somewhere in life? Somewhere along the way I messed up. Somewhere along the way I got caught between shame and arrogance. Am I talking to someone in here? Man, this is busy. Let's talk about it. Sometimes we messed up so bad because we messed up so bad we don't want to admit to the mess up. We're going to walk in arrogance. Walk in conceit. Caught somewhere between shame and arrogance. Like Adam. And going to run and hide instead of just man up. Man up. But when he messed up, he shook his very foundation. Am I talking to someone in here? Have you ever messed up so bad you just shook the very foundation that you should be standing on? Because it says, in the beginning, God created man and woman. In the image of God, he created them. That meant, if you understand the foundation, that they should not have messed up because they were created in the image of God. So tell me, anywhere along the way, have we ever known God to mess up? Has God ever messed up? I know that's a rhetorical question. So if God never messed up, we were creating an image that we should not have messed up. And so here we are caught somewhere in Adam. God had us caught in the spirit of Adam. We should have had the perfect bodies, the perfect mind, and live the perfect lives, but we're so busy caught up in Adam. Adam is our flesh. Adam is the world. Adam is the very desires that go against God's will for our lives. It goes against the very foundation that we should be standing on. Am I talking to someone? Because we get so caught up in Adam. Adam is judgmental. Adam lies. The spirit of Adam. Adam gambles. Adam smoked them funny, good smelling cigarettes that you roll with yourself. That's Adam. Adam drinks a little too much. Adam loves the women or loves the men. That's Adam. That's the spirit of Adam. But he got away from the very foundation that we were created for. It was on that foundation that we messed up. The building is falling. And God saw it over and over again. We read it over and over again. If I can just paint a picture to you about the very Bible that we read, the Bible is mixed with what I would call archetypes. If the archetype basically means that we can see ourselves in every character in the Bible. Because every one of them messed up. Every one of them that did something that was jacked up. Am I talking to someone? So if you can look at the story of David, if you're going to look at any story in the Bible, God used these vessels that had a foundation, but they were all messed up. And they all did something that was jacked up. So when we look at Abraham being a liar, when we look at Jacob being a con man, when we look at Noah being a drunk, when we look at the whole characters, when we look at Rahab, they say was a prostitute, and we can go down the line. Absalom, who was vain. David, who had a woman problem. Solomon, who had a many woman problem, many women problem. But I'm trying to tell you, they were messed up. And they did some stuff that was jacked up. And it went against the very foundation of how God created them. But you know, we got to tell you today that somehow, God, you need to deliver me from Adam. Come on. need to deliver me from the proclivities of wanting to break my foundation. I need to be delivered from the bad decisions that I make in my life. I need to be delivered from the bad thinking that I have. I need to be delivered from how I treat people. I need to be delivered from lying. I need to be delivered from the very Adam nature that fell during the garden, that shook the very foundation. Am I talking to someone in here? If we understand the call on our lives of why we were created in the image of God, it's bigger than me. I dare you to slap somebody next to you and say, it's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. But I'm here to tell you that the very foundation that we were created for, we all have broken covenant somewhere. If we're going to walk through the Bible when we deal with archetypes. So we know every character biblically messed up. And they did something that was jacked up. David had Uriah killed to go after his woman. That was jacked up. David's son took advantage of his daughter. He did nothing. He messed up, and it was jacked up. So we go all the way through, and we get all the way up to this New Testament, this New Covenant. Somewhere along the way, God said, you know, I got a foundation for them. I built them on a foundation, but they just keep messing up. I need to deliver humanity from Adam. Is there anybody in here today that says, I need to be delivered from Adam? There's an Adam somewhere in my life that I'm still dealing with. There's an Adam I'm still struggling with. There's something about me that, God, I need you to step in and fix it, because there's some Adam in me. I will make a mistake, and I'm going to live somewhere between shame and arrogance. Shame and arrogance. We want to walk around with our church slips like we're so perfect. We all got some Adam in us. It was jacked up. Messed up. And got caught away from the very foundation in which God created him for. Am I talking to someone? There's some people in here that God has a call on your life, but you're so far from your foundation, you're still dealing with your Adam in your life. Sometimes that Adam spirit in you is blocking you for what God has for you. The Adam spirit that is in you is holding you back from reaching your full potential in Christ. Am I talking to someone today? Yes. Lord, deliver me from Adam. I want someone to declare today. Say, God, deliver me from Adam.
Deliver me from Adam.
God, deliver me from Adam.
Deliver me from Adam.
I'm here to tell you that somewhere along the late way, somebody needs to be delivered from their Adam ways. It breaks the very foundation in which we were created. In other words, have you ever seen somebody that you had to put a conjunction by their name? You see, this sister's so fine, she'll blow your mind, but you gotta have a but. You see, she's smart, she got a PhD, she's beautiful, got a 750 FICO score, got a car, got a house, but there's a but. Why is she still single? But that's the proclivity of Adam that we need to be delivered from. What about the fellow, brother who just walk around, muscles bound, 6 feet tall, dark and handsome, travels the world, speaks eloquently, but there's a but. All of us got some buts about us.
Everybody got a butt.
They can say it in. Yeah, he's so-and-so, he does so-and-so, but there's a but somewhere in our lives. That's the Adam. Where the musician is? Get out of here. Maybe E flat, C flat, C sharp. We have got to be delivered because it shakes the very foundation in which God created us. There's something about the foundation of what God created us for, but we made a mistake. Somewhere along the line, we made a mistake. And there's some people that were able to overcome their mistakes. And there's some people that are still struggling with some of the mistakes that they made in their lives.
Yes.
what you did may have been jacked up, you messed up, but you don't need your mistakes to hold you up. Our mistakes should not hold us up or hold us back from what God has for us. A mistake is a mistake. A bad decision is a bad decision. But even though you messed up, what you did may have been jacked up, but you can't let your mistake and your guilt hold you up. I need you to shake somebody's hand next to you and say, look. Say, whatever you did, don't let it hold you up.
Don't let it hold you up.
Don't let it hold you up.
Don't let it hold you up. Yeah. That's right.
The spirit of Adam
I got the piano player.
is on all of us. Somewhere along the line, we walked in that Adam. We had the Adam body, the Adam mind, we had the Adam power, but we made the Adam mistake. We messed up. We wouldn't be in here today in the church if we didn't mess up. Am I talking to someone? Anybody in here ever just messed up? God knew we messed up, and God had to kind of figure this thing out. God said, I've got to do something to redeem my Adams because they keep messing up. Every last one of them that I bring forth to do something for the world, for my kingdom and my mind's sake, in my name's sake, they just mess up. They keep doing things that are jacked up, and because of the witness has gone bad in their lives, it's holding them up. And sometimes when things hold you up, you get caught up in that guilt and can't seem to get free. But God had to do something miraculous. God had to say, I got to bring part of myself into this earthly realm, and I got to redeem mankind, because somewhere along the way, they got to understand, I got to understand why they keep messing up. And when God found out that finally, it's too much Adam in them, and so much Adam in them, and they need some of me to redeem them. I left them here in the Adam spirit where they could do so much. They had to kill goats and sheep to make penance for things that they did wrong. But I need to make the ultimate sacrifice. Am I talking to someone? The ultimate sacrifice to say, you know what? No longer I'm going to free you from those proclivities. I'm going to free you from continuously messing up. I'm going to free you from continuously being jacked up. And I'm going to really free you from being held up. Am I talking to someone in here? Anybody in here that's giving their life to Christ to know that God came and set them free, and that you're no longer in the spirit of Adam, that now you walk in the spirit of Christ. Now you walk in the spirit of Christ because Christ has set you free. Anybody here can testify that God gave us Jesus, and Jesus set me free. Anybody here free in Christ? Anybody here free in Christ? Know that God set you free. God delivered you from some bad mistakes. God delivered you from some people too. God delivered you from the enemy, which is our worst enemy. Because what you did was jacked up. It held you up. But guess what? God's going to shake you up. Did God shake you up? I know it back in the old days, they say he picked me up. He turned me around. Place my feet on solid ground. God had to do something in our lives to keep us from being jacked up, messed up, held up. When God came to change your life, God had to shake you up. There's some of us in here that had to have an encounter with Christ, what we would call a theophany, which means a dangerous encounter with God. And it was in those encounters that God shaped your life. Many of you knew that the thing that shaped me up, growing up, the biggest thing that shook me up was, and I go and tell you, when I got shot, that shook me up, but that didn't change me up. But what really changed me up is when I got caught in that house fire. Me and my brother nearly died. And when I came out of that house fire, I said, God, if you get me out of this, I'm yours. I know in my life I had messed up. What I did may have been jacked up. My foolishness may have held me up. But then God came along and shook me up. Shook me up. He shook me up. And God's shaking anybody up in here. He's shaking you up in here. I dare you to get on your feet and say, God save me, because he has to shake me up. God is shaking you up. Oh, God needs to shake you up. The doors of the church are open. The doors of the church are open. I know this may be men's day, but this is a call to action, a call to salvation, a call to penance and repentance. That call says that you messed up. Yes, what you did was jacked up. Don't let the mistakes in your past hold you up. Let God shake you up.
Amen.
Will you let him shake you up? Doors of the church are open.
Come on, all of them, lift those hands to the presence of the Lord. Can we do that? Lift those hands to the presence of the Lord.